Well, good morning. You feeling a little funky today on this Thursday? I'll let you dance a little bit longer as you get ready for your day. I'm just out here listening to the hummingbirds. My husband is phenomenal at making sure that they always have the perfect combination of sugar and water, folks. Sorry about that. Hang on, because I love to be real. Some things happening behind the scenes. Let me do this for you because it is a little foggy out today. Did you know that? Everybody that's heading out, if you are heading on the roadways, just to let you know that there is a little fog out there. So we're trying to make sure that it's lit. I'm just going to hold this for a second, and then my husband's going to try and do it. If you hear a little crustling in the background, shuffling around, it's because we're trying to get this lit. It's a little dark and a little fog. You want to come on camera and show them?
Oh, absolutely not.
He's in the way. There we go. She's going to join me today. I love being real and just laughing with you. Yesterday, we didn't start till 7:03. Today, I was like, nope, we're coming on even if it's just a bunch of music. So Mom's going to come join me. She's making a little tea for me. What are you having this morning? Coffee, tea? Okay, let's just start.
Coffee, tea.
For Monica.
There's chaos going on all around us.
Coffee, tea, or me?
Coffee, tea, or me, Jim says.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got tea.
I'm
Mom
done.
made that. Thank you. You're going to see him in his robe in just a second. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
There he is.
Wait, Jim. Da-da-da-da.
All right, we just thought we'd start with some laughter because honestly, what I told a lot of you in news, I wish that a network would just come straight out of the gate.
Yes.
And look, Mom, you're just a little bit in the screen. So I'm going to do the news and I'm going to bring her on in just a second. Go ahead and have a seat over here. What I would really wish is when we were in the news. No. I need you over here for a second, please. This is what's going to happen today. When we do Mom and Mon, this is what happens. It's just craziness. I never know what's going to happen, so you just got to be quick on your feet. This is what I wish we would have been able to do is just start your day with laughter and happiness before we told you about, unfortunately, the things going on in the world. And I am going to talk about some things that are probably going to be a little bit harder for you to accept, but we want to find a way to kindness, right? We want to find a way out of it and find a way to say why are these things happening. If you did not hear yet, there was a shooting at a high school in Georgia. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a couple of police officers that were injured. We're going to talk about, I don't think I have a slide for it, but in Colombia, I know a lot of people were writing Colombia strong. There was an accident. Sorry, folks. We're going to have her go inside. Can we have her go inside? There was an accident that happened to a high school soccer player that took his life over the weekend. And today they're actually going to have no school because they want the kids to be able to go to a service that they're having for him, a memorial, a remembrance of his life. And what they're going to do is have transportation to take those kids to the school if they don't have transportation to be able to get to that. So some hard things going on in our world for sure. But again, trying to find our way to say, why do these things keep happening? We're doing this show to try to get everyone to find some more kindness together. I just don't get how the world has gotten to this extreme. So that's what this show is about. If you're new to the show, it's all for us as a community to try to come together and make this world a better place. That's really the best way that I can say it. So we're trying to change it around a little bit. I got the dogs barking. I got Mom over here. I got my husband rustling around trying to get lights going on. That's how my morning has started. So we're just going to flip-flop it a little bit. Tell me how your morning is. But I want to give you the forecast, first of all, because we felt like coming outside to do today's show for the fact that it's going to be much warmer into the afternoon. So if you want to do anything outside, I'd suggest you do it now. It's going to be high of 91. Some are even predicting 92 today. Heat indices even higher than that. So just be aware that if you are exercising and you think maybe you're going to do it in the middle of the day, might be best to do it right now. Hot, more humid as you're seeing, 91, 69 for the low tonight. Now there is a slight chance. We've been telling you all week long, a 30% chance of morning rain tomorrow. 81, breezy by the way, 55 for a low. The Cardinals back in town hosting the Mariners starting tomorrow night. Very low humidity. Look at this fall-like weather this weekend. Just absolutely gorgeous. 74 on Saturday, 76, very low humidity on Sunday as well. Those lows, 52, 55. Sorry, Monday, 83. But look at the temperatures coming back up. 86 on Tuesday and Wednesday, 88 with lows again in the upper 50s to low 60s. 60. So an absolutely gorgeous weekend if you are thinking you like fall style weather, football style weather for sure. And we're going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs in action tonight. Maybe you are, or your friends are, your family members are going to see the Chiefs in action against the Baltimore Ravens. Excited to have the NFL back in action. All right, we're going to start our news this morning on a national level. As I mentioned, Colt Gray, the suspect in the Georgia high school shooting, was previously investigated for online threats in 2023, but was not arrested due to a lack of probable cause. Wednesday evening shooting at Appalachia High School resulted in the deaths of two teachers, Richard Aspinwall and Christina Iremi, and two students, Mason Schermerhorn and Christian Angula. Gray used an AR-style rifle in the shooting and will be charged with murder and tried as an adult. Again, absolutely horrible. Georgia high school shooting suspect was investigated back in 23, again for online threats, so they're continuing this investigation. So there were 9 other people that were injured. They are said to be at the hospital, but they are expected to recover. But again, 2 students, 2 teachers killed in this Georgia high school shooting, a 14-year-old suspect in custody. Folks, go ahead and weigh in. We talk about these things. I mean, I remember being in news in my early radio days and talking about the shooting in Colorado and just Columbine, all these things of copycat shootings that people are afraid of. So you almost hate to talk about these things because you wonder who else is out there listening to do something like this. I just don't understand how you're so distraught and so upset that you take the lives of other children that go to school with you, your teachers, your principals, that you're so just angry. So how do we get rid of the anger? That's what we're talking about here on our show, is how do we get rid of the anger? 2 police officers also shot near the WIU campus. This is in Illinois. As a police standoff continued in Macomb Thursday morning, Western Illinois University's campus and many roads south of University Circle down to Highway 136 were closed. Numerous police agencies surrounding the home, the 300 block of North Normal Street, following the shooting of 2 officers. Those 2 officers are being treated in the hospital, and police say they are in critical but stable condition. Local, state, and federal authorities are on scene, and this was last night again, appeared to be communicating with the suspect by the loudspeaker. The police in the area were warning everyone to stay away from the area, and that was the latest updates that they had. Again, 2 officers were treated in the hospital after being shot near the WIU campus. I don't know if you heard any of these stories. Then this, for those that live in O'Fallon, Missouri, police say that an ATM repairman was stalked by 4 suspects for hours and ambushed at an O'Fallon, Missouri ATM. So these things that are happening closer to home, and some again in the surrounding areas. Again, as we said, Macomb, Illinois. O'Fallon, Missouri police, though, investigating this. According to a probable cause statement, the repairman was working on the ATM at a Bank of America location on Highway K in O'Fallon about 11:30 p.m. on August the 10th. Now, as he was performing maintenance on the machine, surveillance video captured a car pulling up next to the man, 3 suspects jumping out, attacking the victim. While one of the suspects stood over the victim, he reached into his waistline and threatened to shoot the victim if he did not comply. So the suspects took the victim's 2 cell phones before forcibly removing the money cassette from the ATM, which contained $94,000. The video then captured the suspects dragging the money cassette over to the car that they arrived in and speeding away from the vehicle. 2 days after the robbery, police said one of the suspects was pulled over in Houston, driving the same car that was seen in the surveillance video of the robbery. Due to the very early stages of the investigation, the female suspect was not arrested because her involvement in the robbery was unknown at the time. However, police did get the GPS system inside the rental car. They discovered it placed the car in the St. Louis and the O'Fallon areas the day of the robbery. This investigation, though, has many layers and many levels to it. They say in August of 2023, St. Charles City Police investigated a robbery of an ATM that resulted in the loss of nearly $300,000. And in that case, detectives said the cameras confirmed the suspects likely stumbled upon the ATM being serviced by a technician. 5 suspects were eventually arrested, all from Houston and charged related to that robbery. There are so many more layers to that, by the way. I'm sure you can find that one online if you want. But I just figured, there are things we need to be aware of that are happening around us. So you have awareness. Again, we don't want to harp on these things and continue to just go death and destruction. But these things we do have to be aware of. Now let's give you happier news. Mega Millions. The jackpot has climbed. No winners. It has climbed now. Look at that, to $740 million. Here's my question to you. Do you play? Do you get frustrated when you don't win? Well, as we've always said, you can't win if you don't play. So that drawing will be held on Friday night. That could climb higher because all the last minute people buying tickets. But right now, $740 million. All right, let's ready for some NFL football. I'm a big fan of college football. So we talked about Mizzou climbing into the top 10 in the AP poll after their big win last weekend. Excited for them. Now it's the Chiefs' turn, and the Vegas odds makers are saying that they are favored to win the Super Bowl yet again. That would be a three-peat, first time ever. So it is Kansas City hosting Baltimore Ravens. Game time is at 7:30 tonight. Excited for that, and excited for the Cardinals, by the way. I mean, they're doing everything they can to stay in this playoff, if at all possible, to get in. 3-2, beating the Milwaukee Brewers last night. They are off tonight, but as I mentioned when I was doing the forecast earlier, that they are in action this weekend as they host the Seattle Mariners. Okay, before we take our break, I want to remind you, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, A Whole New World with You, the gala coming up for Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. We are so excited. The whole Real Monica Adams team is affiliated with this, and we will be there for you on October 19th. Here's all the information. You arrive at 5:30, cocktail hour, and they will also have other I understand that there's going to be an animal communicator there. Isn't that cool? There's going to be an aura reading. I mean, so many levels of energy and positivity. The event will end at 10 o'clock. It's at Whitmore Country Club. All of the proceeds going to help Yuppie Puppy Forever Rescue and their mission. I mean, we've been doing our positive talk time with them. We're not there today. We will be back there next week, though. We would love to see you. And again, ticket sales, they stalled a little bit. Some people wait and go, oh, that's right, it's coming up in a couple of months. Don't wait. We want this to be a sellout, and we'd like to do it as soon as possible so they can get their seating chart and everything in order. So again, October 19th, buy your tickets. I'll have Hannah, who is at home, moderating for us. Hannah Ledford, thank you so much for all that you do. Dropping in the link that you need to purchase tickets from the Cheddar Up website so that you can get your tickets. You can tell your friends and family, and do me a favor and share that on all of your pages. All right, we're going to do a little Mom and Mon senior moments. And today we're going to talk about parent-child connection. It can be the most incredible connection and be a guiding source, or do you not have a good connection with your child, and can you lead them down a path where they never see the value in themselves and you completely stunt their growth? A lot of information and a lot of interaction that I'm hoping from you today. All of that coming up here on The Real Monica Adams Show.
Monica's show, it's very informational, but more importantly, inspirational.
People such as myself and others can come out and talk about real issues that are taking place in our communities.
These are amazing, really, really important topics that don't get discussed enough.
It really just promotes people who are making change and doing good in their lives.
She's a special woman and done so much for St. Louis.
Watching her work is one of the most incredible things you can see.
She just sees value in everyone.
Sometimes people just need you to sit with them and hear them. I feel heard.
The time flew by, and it was like sitting and talking to a friend.
Not only creating a better place here in St. Louis, but to inspire others. It's always great to have examples like you.
You have such a light and such a presence, and I could feel it this morning.
We knew right away when you started this, we wanted to be on your show. Thanks for having us.
I look forward to seeing how you rock and roll and shake it up.
This is my wonderful role model, one of my best friends.
She's, oh my gosh, you got a long life. You could probably live to be 130 or something. And I said, oh God, I hope not.
It's getting hot in here. Don't take off all your clothes.
I'm not going to take off my clothes. On the radio tape, going to
Kansas City, Kansas City, here I come. We're gonna spank. We're gonna speak. We're not gonna spank anybody. We're gonna speak about knowing your value, and then I'm gonna.
I'm going to spank them.
If you don't know your value and you don't grab hold of how important you are, I'm going to spank you. Folks, you never know what you're going to get with her. All right, everyone. Hello. A little Mom and Mon senior moment. Stop it. God, it's starting already. It's okay. Folks, I want to go to your comments because you've got to be goofing and laughing at home of the way everything has started. Just this is life, and you got to just roll and roll. You have no idea the thing. Look at now, she's trying to get taller. I'll sit back.
I'll get a cushion over there.
She's like, my hair is a mess. I didn't do this. I'm shorter than you. Yes, you are. I'm 5'8". You're less than 5 foot.
Almost there.
Okay, everyone, good morning. Hannah said good morning. Sean, good morning. Good morning to Kathy. Kathleen, good morning to you. Good morning, Julie Purcell. Good morning, St. Louis, Rose says. Julie said she couldn't see us. We're right here. Good morning, Mama Jackie. Senior Moments, yes, with Mom and Mon. Debbie, good morning. Everyone else, put her in her booster seat, they said. Oh, Julie said Julie couldn't find us yesterday either. I'm staying with a friend while she recoups from knee replacement. Ran out of coffee yesterday. I was almost at the end of my world, but 2 friends came by with coffee. Disaster averted. Friends are the best. Yes, they are. And Rose, to your friend, I hope that they recover well. Surgeries are never fun. Mm-hmm. Knee, hip, shoulders, back surgeries. I saw your mom hush her grand dogs. She did. She said, shh. That's because she's actually out here. I'm shocked she's not barking. Well, she got in trouble because Dad tried to bring her inside.
So she goes, okay, I'll be quiet.
Yeah. She's over there wondering what's happening. Love your mom. I have not been watching lately. Life is so busy. That's okay, Pam. Welcome back. Sean, this is my 29th anniversary at work today. Congratulations. That is quite a feat.
Yes.
Agree, Pam. Me too. Let's see. Hannah's doing a great job hashtagging everything. Hashtag. Good morning, all from Luann. Michelle says, thank you, Matt Chambers. Look at Matt. You don't have to moderate, Michelle. Hannah's doing that. Just relax at home. Rose, school shootings. Yes. What's the answer? Exactly. So let's go ahead. What I wanted to do is, just weigh in. One of the things I want to do more on the show is to bring our generations together. So here we're talking about a 14-year-old that somehow is so angry inside that would go to school with an AR rifle at that. Why are we getting a hold of these assault rifles? Why are they even allowed? Why are parents getting them and then not locking them up? It's just like that unbelievable story about the 4-year-old girl. And we ended up finding out she was accidentally shot by her twin. Because there were 4 children at the home under the age of 10, right before midnight, if you hadn't heard that story. So, unsupervised. I don't know. We don't know the story. We don't have the full information. That's obviously why the investigation continues. But
like you said, the guns should have been
need to be locked up. Right? I mean, that everyone is saying, and when we get so furious inside because we want to be connected to the community and the things going on, we sit at home going, how did this happen? Why do you have a gun accessible to your children all under the age of 10? And this 4-year-old that thinks it's a toy.
Well, yes.
And then that 4-year-old has to live with that. Shot and killed their troubled twin
child. So traumatic.
And the mom. And everybody.
But that child will never, ever get that out of his mind.
Well, there's going to be a lot of counseling, and I hope so, because obviously it's accidental. It is not their fault.
Oh, yes.
But how do you get past that? I mean, school shootings. So Rose wants to know, what's the answer? Metal detectors, too expensive? Is that the reason we don't have them?
No, training them to
Well, you
love.
have SRO officers now, right? School resource officers. That
Yes.
years ago, you think about when you were in school, I was in school, all of you were in school. We didn't have any of that. You didn't walk through metal detectors. I don't even remember incidents even. I mean,
No.
Was there altercations? Was there arguments? Was there maybe a fist fight? Barely. I don't even remember that.
But then you watched out. You got trouble from the teacher, and then the teacher sent you to the principal, and then the principal, and then when mom and dad found out about it, it was just no. Today, they don't get punished or suffer the consequences of what's going on.
That's a good point, right? 'Cause there's no repercussions.
Yes.
And I'm not going to get into the political side
No,
of
it's got
who.
nothing
No,
to do
I'm
with-
saying who
yeah.
of who's in office in city
Oh,
and
no.
state that somebody gets prosecuted and they're let out way too soon.
Yes.
Or they're not even held beyond a day. I mean, yes, there has to be repercussions. It's a very good point, Mom. But it's gotten to a point, though. I've mentioned this several times. We had a guy by the name of Boone Cutler on. Look it up. There's a name of a book called The Citizen's Guide to Fifth Generation Warfare. And what he means by that is where we are in the world right now. So we see things play out on our cell phones. What's
Yes.
real? It messes with our minds so much that we don't even know what's real anymore. So he talks about polarization, right? The world becomes polarized. Then it becomes tribalization.
Oh, yes.
And it just has layers until it gets to eventual killing. And then the killing is, in no way do you even have recourse of thinking, I just took that person's life. Now my life, I either am going to take my own life or I'm going to end up in jail for the rest of my life, but I don't care. So we've gotten to that point,
Yes.
dehumanizing ourselves. That is such a powerful book and such a powerful show that we did with Boone Cutler. Look it up and look at where we are in the world right now. We're in it.
Yes.
Right? And we're not going to, again, I never want to push faith, but if we get into the biblical side of life,
the devil is taken over.
Well, so my mom says the devil's taken over. Others would look at the Bible and go, when we see all these things playing out, what did they always say that was? Armageddon, the end of the world, another war against ourselves. I mean, there's a lot to throw in. See, you never know where the show's going to take you. I said today I wanted to talk about connections, but we got to connect the world. Connections and parents. Actually, it does fit with this because how are you parenting at home that it ever allows a 14-year-old to get to that point? Parents are not going to want to blame themselves, but I'm asking you what happened from the age of 0 to 14 that put this kid in this mindset. If they were a troubled child, then you've got to get that taken care of.
Right.
You need to take them to counseling. You need to pay. I say this all the time. You got to pay attention more. Do you allow them when they come home to just get right onto a computer? They go into their gaming. Are you hand them a tablet? Do you hand them a cell phone? Are you behind this? Then it gets into the education system. Are you dismissing things? Are you not paying attention to this happening? So yes, actually it does go with our topic today.
Mm-hmm.
The connection, I constantly say, which is why we have this cute mom and mom thing. I love the fact, and I know I was blessed to have this. I hope that all of you were, but if you weren't, how about you be real and say, here's where my life felt that I was isolated, I was alone, I was, I raised myself, or I wasn't raised by parents. My grandparents raised me, but don't think that that's a bad thing because that
could be
sometimes can be
wonderful,
an unbelievable blessing.
Right.
To have the grandparental connection. Sometimes much better than parents, depending on how you were raised. But we do have to go back to say that these things that are happening in our world is all from the lack of a connection between a parent and a child. So actually it does have to do with our topic today.
Yes.
And I just hate the fact that we're talking about something so horrific as a 14-year-old taking the life of 4 people, injuring 9 others, and all the other things that are happening in our world. It has to go back to how are they being raised? That's my belief. Please weigh in on that and tell me, why do you think these things are happening? Why is the crime so high in our city of St. Louis and nobody wants to go downtown anymore?
I know.
I mean, let me respond to a few more people, and then I want you to think about this. My mom grew up in the city. My mom and dad, everything they ever did had to do with music and dancing. And you think about dancing on East St. Louis side, North City side.
Yes.
How much the world has changed. So we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's see. Sorry, it's my Minnesota Vikings turn. There you go. I know Stephanie loves Minnesota. So yes, NFL. We're talking about the Chiefs only because it's as close to home as possible. But good for your Vikings. And any other NFL teams that somebody wants to shout out to. Michelle said, so sad to miss this, but you all should go to support Yuppie Puppy. Yes, Michelle's going to be in Sicily, so she'll just be coming back a couple days later. She's going to miss the Yuppie Puppies Gala again, October 19th at Whitmore Country Club. Hannah did put the link in to click on to purchase your tickets. Please do that.
Get
Kathleen, good morning. And Hannah, I'm sure you've seen it already, but it looks like we had a spammer. Again, people just trying to be negative to our good. Rodell Fortes, get out of here.
The only spam we want is the spam.
No, we don't want that either.
In a can.
We don't want
spam and eggs.
Do you? Did you eat that?
No.
You said the only spam we want is spam in a can.
But I meant that you only want to
I
hear
don't want
about
that
it.
either.
We only want to hear
fine.
about it.
Do you all like spam? Because I think it's one of the grossest thing on the planet. It's disgusting.
What is it? It's ground up ham and
what else?
Something.
And parts?
It might be liver and kidneys.
Ew, come on. Are you serious?
Well,
what is spam?
I used to cut up chicken kidney.
Oh, now you're making me sick
in
to my
chicken soup.
Oh, into a soup. Oh.
In a soup, yeah.
And I don't think I ate it.
Yes, you did.
Did I? Oh,
yes.
That's what's wrong with my stomach.
Because some of it sometimes
after all these years,
you didn't know. What is it I used to make sometimes? And you said, "Yeah, I knew." Oh, meatloaf.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, folks. I can't stand meatloaf. Do you all like meatloaf? I'm asking you a lot of questions. Feel free to just continue to respond. Don't like meatloaf. And how about you want to tell them the story about when I was a little kid and you were at the stove and I came walking by? We have this.
Peas.
Oh, you can tell that story too. All right, fine. See, this is what we're talking about. Hold on. We've got a lot of connection. Stephanie says, Jackie cracks me up. Kathy says, when you are best friends with your mom, it's such a blessing. I had that with my mom. I miss her. Yes. See, that's the other thing. Treasure your parents. If you do have the blessings.
Yes.
If you all don't think that I know how incredibly blessed I am to still have her,
yeah.
Trust me, I am. I miss my dad every day. And it's coming up next week on 29 years.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear Tessa?
Oh, you said
you
for
talking
that.
about Grandpa?
Yeah.
You never met Grandpa.
You never met
29 years that he'll have been gone from the face of this earth. I know.
Way too early.
Grandpa Miles. Yes. Seeing Max off to school, hearing this news this morning is upsetting, Michelle. Yeah, the news that we had earlier. We have metal detectors, Rose says, at Enterprise. I go off all the time with my fake parts. Yeah, that's the other thing that you go through and you're going through. Well, because, if you have titanium or in a knee or whatever from surgeries.
Oh, yeah. Dolores.
Pacemakers.
Oh, Dolores got a pacemaker. And every time
Dolores is my aunt.
Yeah. And we go traveling and she can't go through and she has to stand there and they're.
Yeah. I mean, anybody that's had surgery, they have to tell them. Karen says, right on, Mama. Stephanie, I grew up on Spam. Fried.
Oh, yeah.
Michelle, come on. Michelle says she likes Spam while camping on a cast iron skillet on the campfire. You're never making it for me. I'll camp with you, honey, but I don't you dare try to do that. Meatloaf is not good. It's gross. Okay, hold on. Luann says, I miss my parents so much. Luann says, meatloaf is so good. Homemade is best.
Yes.
What is it that I don't like in meatloaf?
I don't know, because it's hamburger and then onions.
And then there's ketchup in it.
Well,
a lot of people put ketchup in it.
People put ketchup on the top after
I know. Well, when they're making
I didn't.
She's talking to a deer. Oh, Mom, do your thing again.
Oh, yeah. But I don't see. And it'd have to be
Trust me, it's over there. That's why she's barking.
Yes,
Meatloaf. I also don't like stuffing or dressing around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about
I don't
stuffing.
like the
sake. It's a compacted bread.
And sage.
And sage.
Evidently I don't. However, do you remember when we made the food for the entire police precinct back in 2013? You and I spent the entire day making turkey and everything on the side, but we made ciabatta stuffing and Emerald Lagasse's dressing. And it was like there was a spiciness to it. It didn't have, so there are obviously different recipes out there, but the traditional, I guess I should say, the traditional side of stuffing or dressing, I'm not a fan of. And you aren't either?
No,
But you like meatloaf, huh?
I like meatloaf, depending on how it's made.
I like the singer,
but I don't. Yeah, I do too. I don't like
dashboard
ketchup.
Lights.
I'm not crazy about ketchup. Like if you have a hamburger and I want
it doesn't
mustard.
taste like hamburger. It's, first of all, here's the problem. Meat loaf. It just doesn't sound good.
Well,
a loaf of meat?
Because you stuff it into a 9x12
Stuff
pan.
it? That doesn't sound good either.
Well, that's like sausage. You stuff the sausage Jim just let the dog
Yes,
in.
because she was born. Okay. Look, Bob Busad is on, a very dear friend of my
God.
mom.
Hi, Bob.
Your mom is the star of the show. I know.
He used to be my boss.
He was?
Yeah, half.
Where?
Oh, Bob who said, I thought that you meant Bob. What can you think of his name? And he was, never mind, it was Bob and Lonnie who were my bosses.
Oh, Needham.
Needham, yeah. Okay.
No,
Never
Bob
mind.
Busad is,
Bob
I just
Busad,
said, is a dear friend of my mom and dad's.
My husband's one of his
Bob,
best
can you
friend.
believe that one of your best friends has been gone almost 29 years? It's crazy.
No, can't believe it.
Debbie, I love meatloaf and a baked potato, and being one of 10 kids, we ate our share of fried spam and bologna. Oh, fried bologna. It's another thing.
Yeah, I remember we'd have that.
Rose, you two need to take it on the road. Sell out auditoriums. Have the dogs as a backup act. Marilyn, social media. Okay, so we're back to, again, and this is life. We go from laughing to let's address some issues. Social media, people isolating and not meeting their neighbors, lack of faith in homes, false information being spread, hate rhetoric. So sad. Hard to hear all this stuff. Idle hands, idle mind is the devil's workshop, and it is ramped right now and seems to be rising. Well, see, and that's why I have to tell you some of these things, because I don't want you all to go, but Monica, did you hear this? I did. And sometimes I kind of go through and say, what do you want to hear about? I think you needed to hear about a school shooting, because we need to know that these things are there so that I can say, what do we need to do? I put it out there to you. This is your show. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. So sometimes what we want to do is tell you about these things and then turn it over to you to say, what is it that you think needs to be done? Oh, Mom says respect. You don't have to whisper. They can't hear you. Respect for one another. Well, actually, it goes back also to respect for oneself.
Oh, yes.
Self-love. I always say self-love.
Yes.
Marilyn, great idea to Rose. I don't like meatloaf either. My sister makes good meatloaf, but she said, I hate liver. Yes, liver and onions.
Oh, yes, I hate liver. My husband loved it, and he used to make it for my daughter-in-law's mom and dad, and they thought it was just wonderful. And he'd go, here, taste it, Jackie. I go, I can't stand it.
You couldn't stand the smell either.
Right.
My sister-in-law, Tina, and my dad both loved it, so we would let them have their liver and onions and leave the house.
We have something
Let's go get
else.
pizza, Mom.
Let's go pizza. Let's go
Kathy
to
Holden
Panteras.
Reed says, I agree, not making true connections with others. She just said Panteras. That was my first job in my life. Everybody else, what was your first? What was yours?
I'm trying to think.
Lots of parents work and don't know what's going on in their kids' lives. Yes, stay involved, talk, interact, be part of their lives. That's what I think. Mental illness is real. Yeah, bullying is real. You don't remember what your first job in life was?
My first job that was working at the dime store.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about a simpler time, and that's when we take a quick break. When we come back, I want you to think about that. Simpler times, and then you think about, I was watching a documentary on Tina Turner the other day. And just how incredible she was and how she played in East St. Louis and St. Louis. But my aunt, we were visiting at her house the other day, and she was talking about this Motown review and all of these people that were in town, and Aretha Franklin playing here.
How did I not know?
Exactly. She's younger than you. It's just absolutely amazing to think of these mega stars that were playing at these smaller venues. But I tell you what, my favorite menu... This is what happens with you all the time. I say, what? Obviously, I'm hungry. My favorite venue to see an artist when they're just starting out used to be the Pageant. But now I'm told that that's the Factory in Chesterfield. And who are we going to go see at the Factory in a couple of weeks?
Teddy.
Swims. See? Just let her go. It's just like wind up the toy and let her go. Teddy Swims. Do you all know about him?
Oh, yes.
If not, how about this? Hannah, do me a favor and drop in a link to the song Lose Control. And then you'll click on it and you'll all be like, oh, I know him. I also like the song The Door.
Yes.
Tonight, I saved my life when I showed you the door. That's one of the verses from the song. And so many more. But he was discovered on Instagram by singing a Journey song. And the guy is so incredible. So we saw him at a small venue in Birmingham, Alabama 3 years ago. He played at a place I don't even know, I've never even heard of, in the city of St. Louis on Washington. That, by the way, my husband said, you're not going to see him on Washington. So isn't it a shame that we're at that point?
I used to go down around there, all the places.
Well, not just there. You went in what is really, truly considered North St. Louis.
North St. Louis, East Side.
I would never drive. And I'm saying it right now, I would not drive anywhere near that today.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's literally like driving through war zones. And it's unfortunate to say that, but you really don't know. There's just random shootings happening. You have kids that are trying to study. And I mean, these are stories we've done in the news in the past where you have a child that's inside reading and studying and shot through the window and dead. I mean, yes, that's why it's unfortunate. Again, we're going to tell a story, though. We're going to go up and down here. We're going to make you laugh in just a second because I said I wanted to go back and talk about some things when you were cooking. Yes, you can also tell them the peas story.
Peas, okay. But just when you were real little and I was cooking bacon.
Yeah, don't go. We're going to, we're going to give that to them next. But before we do that, I want to tell you about our 400th show. You better be there.
Yes.
Buy your tickets very soon. So
I'll buy my ticket.
I might be able to let you in. 400th show. That'll be September 30th for the actual 400th show, but the celebration, celebration is October 4th. You're going to put, October 4th though. Don't put September 30th. The 30th is the actual show that will be 400 shows, Michelle said. Then October 4th is our big celebration, and we will be at the Watering Hole, which is affiliated with Circle 6 Acres. Tiffany and Larry Winkler are the owners, and they have the meat market as well as the Watering Hole. So we're calling it badges, bourbon, beer, beef with your besties.
BBB.
BBB. There's a lot of BBs there. $40 will be the price of the ticket. Yes, it's on a Friday, and it'll be from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Why the ticket price? Because we are raising money for Responder Rescue. We want to give to our true heroes. Look at the hummingbird. Police, fire.
I've been watching.
Oh my gosh, they were just hovering right by my mom. That was cool. Police, fire, paramedics, dispatchers, all these true heroes. And we've got to do something for them. And that's what we came up with. Last year we did a gala and raised money for Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. Now we are going to raise money for the first responders. And if you haven't been there yet, it's on 94 as you go right around that turn in Defiance. This is the view outside because it'll start getting dark, and then you'll sit there and be able to hang and talk to your friends and family and listen to an incredible band, which they are booking right now. That's going to start at 6 o'clock, the band. We will be there from 5:30 to 7 p.m. and we would love to see you. We'll let you know when tickets go on sale. They will be $40 again, and all the proceeds going to our first responders. You're going to get an incredible steak. You're going to get potato. You're going to get salad. And as Tiffany said, on real plates. This is going to be really, really nice. Listening to some great music. You'll get a couple of drink tickets, and then you're going to give to our first responders. So mark it on your calendars. Save the date. Tickets will be going on sale very soon, October 4th, 5:30 to 7 p.m.
I'm excited to announce my all-new mattress topper. In the times we're in, I wanted to bring you the best affordable mattress topper ever. So I took my two best technologies and combined them to make the ultimate mattress topper. And now you can get it for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. It all starts with my famous MyPillow foam that provides you that overall full body support. Second is the individual comfort supports that give you an amazing custom sleep experience. It's like it's made specifically for you. The queen size alone has over 14,000 comfort supports. This is the perfect mattress topper to improve any bed. New bed, old bed, your guest beds. Get them for every bedroom in your house. Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the all-new My Mattress Topper for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. Don't delay, order today. I'm excited to announce
We're doing Mom and Mon Senior Moments. We're going to talk about some fun things in just a second, but I always love for you to be heard. So where do we let off? Yes, Kathy said, I agree to Marilyn, not making true connections with others, causing some of the problems in our lives. Rose, lots of parents work and don't know what's going on in their kids' lives. Stay involved, talk, interact, be part of their lives. Mental illness is real. Bullying is real, she said, and so very true. Oh, Adelaide's still out here. Hi, baby girl. Stephanie, kids need to learn to be kind and to care about others as they are growing up. I know, but see, it almost feels like people are probably sitting there watching going, yeah, we've said that for years. Okay, but we can't just dismiss it.
Have to do something.
What is it though? Ugh, what is it? How do we get this to stop? Because
teach respect to yourself, to your parents, to your siblings, to your teachers, to everybody around you. Like going in out of a door, people they'll even say, "Oh, thank you," or "Well, you're welcome." And you go by and smile at a person. I'll go walking in my neighborhood and I'll see them. I go, "Hello," and they'll just keep going. I go, "Well, goodbye to you too."
It's also the fact I used to say when you let somebody in front of you when you're driving.
Oh yeah.
Do you do this?
And then
I will go out of my way because now you have tinted windows and I'll wave outside of the window. But yes, you're right. So mom taught us respect. Dad taught us respect. Is it that? Is it the fact that we've lost that in life? I mean, there's so many levels. I'm asking all of you, besides she and I weighing in, what is it? I know people say this to me. Monica, you're taking on quite a feat of you thinking that you're really going to be able to heal the world. And I said, well, you know what, though?
Yes,
Here's the deal. There's
starts with one person.
It does. And everybody says one person can't do it. Yes, they can. We have people that we talk about in history that tried to do the same thing. And they did have a movement. Well, let me use Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes,
he believed.
And he didn't give up. He just kept going, working at it.
And he had quite a movement that he did, right?
Yes.
I believe. I have a dream.
Right.
That I have a dream speech is so powerful, but listen to the whole aspect of it.
Yes.
And then unfortunately, somebody so hate-filled took his life.
I know.
But the time spent on earth while he was here, he made an unbelievable impact, correct?
Yes,
We could go on and on and on, Mother Teresa. I mean, we could just go
So
on
many.
and on of what people have done in life. So I do believe that as a community, we can make a change. We can make a difference until I'm no longer here. And I would hope people say everything she tried to do was all in good, in kindness. And it all came back to what I'm saying today. And the reason why we picked today's topic was we need better connection. I picked the topic before I heard about this high school shooting, but it all ties in together of kindness breeds kindness. Hate breeds hate, by the way.
Right.
So just as much as good breeds good, hate and toxicity and drama does the same thing. So when I'm sitting here listening and talking about these real world topics, I do not know anybody around me. And I know other people are probably going to say the same thing when it comes to these shootings and horrible things that are happening, that they may come back and say, I had no idea. The person kept to themselves. Well, that's not a good thing, by the way.
That's not.
So they need social interaction. You know, we think about what happened to the kids during the pandemic. That social interaction that they lost, I think is it's dangerous.
Yes.
They needed that. So I hope we don't see more of these things happening because of the isolation and the depression and the bullying that they went through, because they were on these so much more that there was so much bullying taking place during the pandemic.
Yeah. And because
escalated.
people can be so mean.
Yeah, but that's, Mom, it's two though. It's in-person bullying.
Yeah.
And then all of our younger generation has to deal with this and that.
Yes.
The cowards that you're talking about behind this or behind the laptop.
Yes.
And who knows what else is coming in our world? Is there another layer of bullying?
I hope not.
I know, but we got to talk about these things. That's the thing. So somebody just said we have to talk. We have to interact.
Yes.
Kids need to learn to be kind and to care about others as they are growing up, Stephanie says. Okay, Debbie said liver is the nastiest meat on the planet.
Yes.
I had to go down to our pond to get away from the smell. Yeah. Rose, my son was bullied in school. I took off work to address it with school personnel and other mothers involved before it got worse.
Brian was bullied.
My brother was bullied because he had a birthmark on his face. And people used to look at me and say, was your brother burned? And I'm like, this is why I became such protective.
Well, if it was asked that way.
No. Okay. It was the way they asked. What's wrong with your brother's face? That's what they would say. And I would get so ticked off.
Say, what's wrong with your mind?
Yeah, but see, as a young child, I would say, what's wrong with your face? And then I would get mad and I would be protective.
Oh, no, yeah.
And I think that's where it came from, though, that the protective nature in me for my family and friends, like, don't ever do anything to my family and friends. You don't want to see the wrath of Monica come out.
Oh, yeah, me too. I would have some of them in the neighborhood, and some little boy was bullying Brian. I told him, you better not mess with him. And then even in school, Brian got in trouble with the
He got
teacher.
in fights because of what he was being bullied.
And then that was, and so, but then there was the one nun with first grade. I forgot what her name was. But anyway, I couldn't understand. He come home and he just said he got in trouble because we always fixed lunches and he brought it. Well, then other kids bought. Well, some kid was teasing him because or, and so he had not just paid attention, sat at the wrong table. He sat at the table where the people bought, and he had his lunch there. And the nun came and pulled him off and said, "You can't sit here." And okay, so he came home and he was really upset. I went up to school and I got the principal and I said, "You better tell that nun she better never grab my son again, or I will take care of her."
She's small but mighty. I've never heard that story.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if Brian remembers that story. I just remember him being bullied because of the birthmark.
Yes.
We were bullied because we didn't have money.
Yeah.
And my mom made me clothes that looked like Adidas, but they weren't, just why I was made fun of, because they looked at my shoes that looked like Sambas, but they were tracks from Kmart, and they went off on me. And back then I took it. But one of the things I wanted to talk about in today's topic was, as a parent or as a child or as a sibling or anybody that has interaction with you, do you let them have power to where they completely stunt your personal development growth? For me, I let it affect me for a little bit. I don't know though. What do you think it was that allowed me to get to a point of not letting that ever enter in to hurt me anymore?
Because I used to always try to tell you, like, stand up for yourself. I used to even tell you, you stand up for yourself against your brothers. They're older than you.
I would call her at work, "Mom, they're beating me up." And she was like, "Well, punch them back."
I would say,
"Oh, go ahead, be real, say it."
I would say, if they just keep bothering and teasing, kick them between the legs.
That's not what you said. Kick them in the balls. That's not
They'll
good.
leave you alone.
Well, yes. Well, and I don't think I ever had to do that, but they did. They were wrestling around. They were being mean, as boys will be. But I would call her at bowling, and then I'd call you at work, and she's like, "Monica, I got a bowl. Stop calling." And that's what finally I said. But they keep punching me, and she's like, "Well, then kick them between the legs
and take care of yourself."
I did.
So.
She made me tough, right? The connections we have with our parents. Okay, Gwen, I think that sometimes these young children are so depressed and lonely and isolated due to poor family situations. Yes, connection. That's what the theme of today is. Their young minds just do not know how to navigate it. Many times there's a lot of verbal abuse and physical abuse going on as well. Hurt kids, hurt people. It is, and it's why we need more connection. Let's see. I think we saw, I meant to say this earlier. Again, we had, 2 or 3 spammers already today. Hannah, you're doing a great job getting rid of these people. Marilyn, it is so sad. People just doing their job and are either killed, teachers, or life is threatened, an ATM worker. And how many hours did he work? They followed him all day, and this was 11:30 at night. Come on, America, get grounded and love each other. I know. See, we seem to say that we're putting things out there that seem so simple. And they can be, but it all starts at home.
Yes.
And it's very true. Debbie. So Debbie was trying to connect us at the factory to being able to meet Teddy Swims, but evidently her person turned in their resignation. Yes, Debbie, $40 per person means $80 per couple. Yes. Okay, so I don't think you're coming. I think you said it's too far away, but everybody, $40 to raise money for our heroes that are taking...
think of where the money is going to go.
That's what you have to know about. So what we're talking about is $40 for the ticket for our 400th celebration, which again, not on sale just yet. Rose, I love to see your mom and you in such a great relationship. Monica, you are truly blessed. I know. What I would give to talk to my mom for 5 minutes. I lost her when I was 27. I lost my father when I was 24. Yes, we're robbed of that time, right? But I'd rather have had my mom for that short time than a mediocre one or one who didn't care or wasn't present in my life. Jackie knows her stuff. She's lived it. People need to put others first. Okay, Marilyn. Oh, yes, you are correct. No respect for a person and their property. Sickened by behavior of these people. They do not have a conscience any longer.
Yes.
Jerry, I greet people with a good morning. Hello, how are you?
Yes.
And finding either blank stares or no response at times.
Yes.
Of course, I'm older. I feel we need to interact no matter our age. We do.
Right.
And one of the new segments we're going to start is generational talk. And I'm going to have my 20-something-year-olds that work with us, Hannah Ledford, Tia Tricamo, Ashlyn Cross, Kelsey Oglesby, and Zach Kimball. All 5 of them, I'm going to have them sit in the chair and talk with me and ask another generation.
Yes.
I want right now for every generation to be kind to the other generation instead of a across the board stereotype saying that our younger kids are lazy, entitled, they don't want to work, they ghost. They may, small percentage of it. It's no
Mhm.
different somebody saying that they hate the police because the police are bad. Small percentage. How about the criminals? A huge percentage are bad.
Right.
Some go into prison and they've paid their dues and they deserve our kindness because they want a better life for themselves. That's the other thing. The true Christian way is to say, you want a better life.
Right.
There's other people, though, that have always said, I'm going to turn my cheek away from them and never give them a chance again because of what they did.
Yeah.
But they paid. If they paid their dues, if they were let out like that, then yes, I have a problem with that.
Right.
Debbie says, I've been bullied all my life and carried into adult life, never could understand and still don't. I've always been a good and nice person. You'll find kindness. Just keep being kind. Don't let go of that.
Right.
Good morning, Diane. Great seeing your mom. She loves you. Hats by Diane. Kathleen, go Mama Jackie. Small, that's what I said, small but mighty. Carrie, I love you all and your relationship. Yes, hurt kids, hurt people. Instead of putting them behind, I had to get in their heads and touch their hearts. Let's see. The one in Pacific, that is the landing hub, Debbie. That is when we are going to be there next Thursday. And that is a mobile Monica. And again, people can book mobile Monicas for their businesses, their festivals, etc. That landing hub, which I'm trying to do this left-handed. That's what the problem is. And I don't want to take us off the air. No, that's good. The landing hub, let's go ahead and put that up on the screen. The landing hub is going to be September 12th. So that is next Thursday. And that is in Pacific, Missouri. I'm going to have to pull my hand over this way. So when you walk inside the landing hub, yes, it's this really cool, it's got an aviation tie to it. That's in Pacific, Debbie. If you all want to come to that, and we would love for you to be there, it's from 4:30 to 6 next week, Thursday. And then afterwards, we're going to go to the Cigar Vault because they own both places. Shane and Jennifer, by the way, who own both of these wonderful businesses, are going to be on my show next week, Tuesday. We're going to hear their story about wanting to build in Pacific and so many people asking them, why Pacific? And they said, because we're from here. We love Pacific. That's Jim, by the way. Lighting up his cigar. Yeah, the landing hub located in Pacific, Missouri. And again, we will be there next week. So 2 big shows on tap, 4:30 to 6 p.m. next Thursday, Debbie and everybody else. Come out there. We're going to have some giveaways. We're going to have a lot of fun. And we're going to show you this really cool boutique hotel that's right in your own backyard that's been there for 3 years. Didn't know about it. And this really awesome cigar vault place. It's an old vault, a bank vault. And the humidor, oh my gosh, it is really cool. Thank you. Hannah's just dropping in all that information for you. Marilyn, yes, Jerry, in my neighborhood, whether in my car or in my yard, I always wave to them. What I love when I'm out and about and someone is walking towards me, they keep their heads down and will not make eye contact. I know. This is a challenge. I truly love. I always smile. You do, because hopefully you can raise their eyes off the ground.
And then they'll look and they go, oh.
The reason they do that, by the way, is because they're not okay with themselves.
Yeah.
You are able to look someone straight in the eye and have a connection with them if you are confident. That's the other thing you have to do as parents. When we're talking about connections, you need to instill confidence in your children. Do you tear them down? Well, what the heck do you think? It starts at home. Diane says, good idea about asking the younger generation about respect for others. But what I'm doing, Diane, but I'm also asking for respect for them. So it's not just them respecting the next generation and the older generation and the generation before them. I'm asking for us to respect them. That's really, honestly, you might be surprised by that, but that's where the idea came from. I want them to be a part of my show. I want to have more of a cast and a team on my show as we get ready to go into almost 2025 and stepping away for almost 2 years. I want the generations, because this is, to me, we need to hear from them. Yes. In order for, this is how I'm going to wrap the show up here shortly. The way I think we get to the problems we're having with the younger generation doing these horrible things is that we need to respect them more and they need to respect us. You keep coming back to respect, but we have to respect them. I'm tired of hearing my generation and your generation belittle them and say they're worthless. They're not worthless, right? It's no different than when you were younger and I was younger and people looking at our generation going, they don't get it. They don't understand hard work.
Yeah, in the 50s, they say, oh, yeah.
See?
Bad. Well, it's always, why? No.
You're right. It always repeats, right? No matter what the generation. Same here, Jerry, but keep doing it. Yes. So go ahead, Mom. Do me a favor. Tell them so that you can make them laugh. Tell them the story. Let's see. I want to know they are seen. Where and when is the good meat place? That is October 4th.
Oh, October
Thank
4th.
you, Hannah, for dropping it in. As a shift lead, all my other shift leaders are younger, a lot younger. I follow them when they are in charge and respect them. You have to. That's another thing. People have a hard time having a boss that's younger than them, right? They can't swallow that, but you know, it's whatever. Deal with it.
I had a boss that was younger than me. Lonnie was my boss. I was her administrator. And
did you respect her?
Heavens, yes.
You have to. But there are people who can't swallow their pride. They're just like, ugh, they didn't pay their due. Whatever. You're not the one who hired them. We just have to, again, respect. Okay, Mom, make them laugh. Tell them about the peas story and tell them, I wish I had videos and pictures to show you. And then tell them about cooking on the stove and what you were cooking.
Oh, yes, I was one afternoon frying bacon because maybe I was going to make German potato salad. And the bacon was cooking and she comes I guess you were only about 3 years old. And she comes walking in and she, what you doing?
No, I didn't say it like that.
Yeah, you're always with a Southern accent.
But that wasn't Southern.
Okay.
You usually do it right. You said, what's that? That's what I said.
I like to say, what's that?
Yeah.
And I said, that's bacon. I don't like bacon. And I go, yes, you do. She said, I do? I go, yes. I said, here, taste it. Oh, I like it.
So we have that somewhere on an audio cassette. And I went back and laughed. And my husband is in love with the South, right? So when he heard that, he was like, oh, you're my little Southern girl, evidently. So for those of you that have been watching me or listening to me over the years, you may hear it come out from time to time. I don't know where it comes from, but all of a sudden this little Southern accent comes out of me.
Well, you were raised in South St. Louis.
Oh, okay, yeah. So go back to that.
And somebody said that one time. Maybe it was when I was in Boston. And they said, oh, you've got an accent. Me? I got accent. Oh, yeah. I go, no, you have an accent. That Boston
But
accent.
everyone has an accent.
So they're thinking that's that South St. Louis accent. And I go,
because of the way the A's are, from what I've been told. Like you say salad. And they say, well, Brian says salad. Or Dallas.
He says Dallas.
Dallas Cowboys. He says Dallas
I've
Cowboys.
never said it that way to him.
No, but understand, it doesn't matter. We all, depending on where you're from, you have people from the South listening to us, and they'll be like, no, you actually all have an accent.
Yeah,
and we sit there and go, I didn't know that. Okay, what about the peas?
Oh, they thought I was fixing. I always had peas, and she always said, "I don't like peas. I hate them. I just hate them."
Still do.
And I go, "Well, Monica, you have to eat 10 of them." I wouldn't make her count out 10. Well, I don't know. And then I still have this wrought iron kitchen set, and I was repainting the wrought iron, and I was reupholstering them, and then the painting. Well, I turned the table over, as I was painting, and there I thought, what in the world is this? Smashed peas all underneath the bottom of the table. And so I go, Monica, come here.
No.
Monica.
No.
What?
Monica Lynn.
Oh, Monica Lynn, come here. I'm in trouble. I go, what is this? Well, I told you I didn't like peas.
And my brothers told me to do it.
Did they?
Yes. So what happened? You made me sit at that table
and eat 10
and
peas.
sit there until I was going to eat 10 peas. And I'm telling you right now, folks, when you don't like something, you feel like you're about ready to throw up. And if I even put it near me and I smelled it, I was like, I'm going to throw up. And so she would just make me sit there at the table, and they were there with me. And then I looked at the dog because we had Cookie at the time.
Yes,
and I wanted to give him to Cookie. And my brothers were like, yeah, do it. And then I went like this, like I was going to smash it. And they shook their head like, go ahead. But my mom, being as small as she is, this was a heavy table.
Oh, yeah.
And she turned it sideways to clean it. And that's when she found them. And when I heard her say Monica Lynn, I'm like, she found the peas. Okay, if you ever invite me over, friends, family, do not give me peas. Otherwise, check the bottom of your table.
Yeah, Dolores would say, your aunt Dolores, she used to say, yeah, I don't like peas either.
Oh, I love it.
Green beans.
Oh, I didn't know she didn't like it.
Yeah.
See, that's why we get along so well. Now, look, here's the deal. Snap peas, like sugar snap peas, they're very different.
Oh, that's
but I'm talking about,
regular
when I said we didn't have money, a lot of the things were in cans.
Yes.
So I'm talking about gross canned peas, gross canned asparagus,
yes.
okra.
Yes.
Those are things we had to eat. Do you understand how gross it was?
Sorry.
But you gave us food. You put food on the table for us. Yes, we are. He just said, hey, because we got to get going.
Oh.
Kathleen, I had blood drawn yesterday. The lab tech never made eye contact, never smiled, made me go out of my way to be kind to her. Unbelievable. Carrie, did Monica ever sneak off to be with friends? Did she ever run away as a little girl? We're gonna table that because I do have to get going. Tony, good morning. Bob did the same thing with his peas. His mom did the same thing. He had to sit there and he had the dogs help too. Yes, Diane says I love peas though. Unreal. You need to write that stuff down on paper to purge yourself. Okay, that's I don't know. I'll have to look back at that. We want to end on a happy note. So yes, silliness, connection with family. I'm so blessed to have two incredible brothers. My older sister, she didn't grow up in our actual home, but love between the family. And this is all I really want for each and every one of you is more love, more kindness, more together time. That's the biggest thing that we keep saying is you've got to, whether the kids want to argue or not, make it happen because they will appreciate it later on in life. They'll say, oh yeah, remember when you had me do this. All right. Yesterday we ran by this pools, our pool and spa specialist that we love so much, Madonna. On their website, it said they were open till 6:00. Well, they weren't. And not only did they not have our business, but a guy pulled up in a truck and he wanted to get in there too. I don't know whether he wanted to buy a hot tub or if he needed to get some chemicals for his closing. But I want you to go by. But they close at 5, by the way. And on Saturdays, they close at 3. So they're open on Sundays. Monday through Friday, they're open until 5 p.m. And on Saturdays until 3 p.m. I just enjoyed looking at that, though, yesterday. The pool that they have on the West Outer Road in Arnold. So you can give them a call at 636-464-7110. I did see a lot of toys still in there. Those big noodles are there. They've got the little flotation devices. They've got a donut that looks like a leopard that I have here at the house. They also have another leopard one. But yes, find the one that you want, and they are 50% off while supplies last. Again, Just Pools, the pool and spa specialist. Thank you, Madonna, to the entire team for being a part of the Real Monica Adams Show. All right, Marilyn, we're going to let everything wrap up here with your last comment. So love this segment with your mom, the sweetest and most entertaining, and I love the laughter. Well, we love that you love to be a part of it. We'll have her on more and more and more. Any other topics that comments that come in, I'll answer them a little bit later on. I do have to get going. We've got a lot to do. Tomorrow, we'll continue the friendship talk with Friendship Friday and Dot Fleshman. We'll be bringing her sibling on. So it's kind of a theme of family. Yes. Her family that she grew up with, and Johnny is in That 80s Band. If you've ever seen them, we're going to talk to Johnny. Oh yeah, you got to see these pictures we're going to show tomorrow. So sibling connection. My husband's saying you got to get out of here, Monica. Thank you all. They said today was so much fun. Love you, Mama.
Okay, love you.
What? Are you shaking my hand?
No, I'm going to pull you to give you a
Love
kiss.
all of you. We'll be back tomorrow with Friendship Friday and some real estate news. So if you're looking for a house, you need to tune in tomorrow to our Getting Real with our real estate exec, Dot Fleshman. As we always tell you, go out and please do this one main thing because I think this is how we change the world.
Be kind, but you also can be nice.
God bless you all.